How's it going, people? Just get my headphones in here with the little microphone on so you can actually hear me. Yeah, that should be all right, I guess. What do I got here? Hopefully everything works out okay. I am on vacation, so I'm just streaming directly from my phone, and I don't care. Go away. All right, should be good. Oh man, going to the Macanudo today. It's just what I brought with me on vacation. I have so many of them. I might as well just use them for fun vacations. They're always in like packs. They're always in like samplers. So how's it going with everybody? What time is it anyways? It's almost 4 o'clock. All right. I don't know if the rain's going to hold out or not, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Let me know. Somebody hit a text message. Do I actually need to hit something to drop a text message? Top chat, live chat. Hey, let's see. Who do we have? Mark and Mr. Beach. There we go. Okay. Sounds good to you. That's good. Hey, where are you at? Looks nice. I am up in Conway, New Hampshire. So that is where I am right now. So I'm just out back behind the cabin that we have rented for a couple days. We have our puppy. She's over there. She is very scared of this place for whatever reason. She has not eaten anything since we got here yesterday. She has not had anything to drink. Well, actually, she has eaten when we've been in the car. But she hasn't had anything to drink. She hasn't gone to the bathroom the entire time we've been here, and we're at 24 hours now, so hopefully she is okay, but she's just a little bit of a scaredy cat. So basically, as soon as she goes in the house, well, one, I have to like drag her into the house because she doesn't even like going into the cabin. It's like impossible. I have to like pick her up and carry her, and she's getting to be a very big girl for that. So yes, I have to like pick her up and carry her. But as soon as like I put her down, she just runs into the living room. They have like some small like built-in beds, and there's one that she just goes to. She just lies there and she just stays there. So she's a little bit of a scaredy. If I try to walk her, she just like stands still. Like she doesn't want to do anything. So it's been a little difficult with her up here. Got a knot in my headphones here. But it's nice. We went up Mount Washington today. We drove up it. We didn't hike it. We drove up Mount Washington today. Hey, what are you doing? Just got back. My wife had a headache, so she's taking a nap right now. So I get to just hang out here in the back, enjoy the cigar. And they have decent enough internet, it seems, that I can at least stream to you guys. What's up? She can't decide what she's doing. There's a road over there that goes into we're actually like right on the edge. So actually right behind me is National Forest property. So that tree line right there is National Forest property right behind me. So, and then over here is all national forest property. So basically, and then right across the street is all national forest property. So this place that we're at is completely surrounded by the White Mountain National Forest. So yeah, it's nice. So if you actually own this place, you don't have to worry about anybody building next to you. So the road runs parallel to my right. So I'm looking parallel to the road right now. The road is running to my right here. So it's good to know that there's nobody's going to build next to you, because this would basically be the side lot. No one's going to build behind you. There's one house down, but there's not another lot. So the neighbor is a decent ways away, and just how the lot is situated, there's trees like blocking you from the neighbor. So that's nice. So like this is actually a pretty nice place to be. The residence itself, it's okay. We've stayed at a whole bunch of different places up here. I think this one is my least favorite, probably. Just the other ones weren't available when we wanted to come up here. We just wanted to come up here after I got laid off, and then before my wife has to go back to work for school. Yeah, it's really nice up here. The weather's crazy though, because we have so many mountains, so the weather changed. It wasn't supposed to rain today, but it did rain already. And now the forecast says it is going to rain later. So we'll see how that actually works. The forecast is always horrible up here. Like you can never tell when it's actually going to be correct or not. Just because, yeah, it's such a weird weather system up here, especially with the mountains. Just towering a 5,000 foot difference between where I am and where the mountains are in, a span of 10 miles as the crow flies. So that really like stirs up the winds and just drives clouds in all types of different directions. We were up there, so it's 80 degrees where I am right now. We're probably at about 1,750 to 1,000 feet above sea level. When I was at the top of Mount Washington, it was 52 degrees and the winds were just over 40 miles an hour. So it felt pretty cool up there. It was nice. I like the cold, so it felt nice to me, but the winds were whipping so bad, like you were getting pelted by little bits of sand, which I don't know if you've ever been in a windstorm with sand and just have it blowing into you. It does not feel very good. So yeah, that was fun. Like I said, it was super, super windy up there, 40-mile-an-hour winds. Clouds weren't too bad. They were high enough that you could see all the surrounding peaks, so you weren't above the clouds, which happens sometimes when you're up at Mount Washington, where the clouds will actually be below you because it's way higher than the surrounding area. But yeah, I'd say this is probably my least favorite place we've stayed so far. The location's all right, but do you normally do a live Sunday chat, or is this something new? I've done quite a few of them. I don't specifically go out of my way for them, but I try to do them as often as I can. Yeah. So not new, but they move around. I do them when I can. Sunday just seems to work out the best for me. I've tried different days. It doesn't really matter what day I do it on. Like I get about the same amount of live views anyways, regardless of the day. And like some Sundays it's a ton, and some Sundays it seems to be like this, where I currently only have like 3. Some days will be like 15, and some days it'll be nothing. I don't know what the rest of the country's looking like weather-wise, so that usually will play into it. The winter I probably get more because more people are inside. especially when it gets darker earlier too. So, like in the winter, it's almost dark at this time, at least here on the East Coast, especially farther north. I mean, what is it, like 4 o'clock right now? Just after 4 o'clock. So, like it'll start getting, like, if you're dead of the winter, it's going to be dark in like a half hour from now. So summer's a little bit more because it's still not going to be dark for another 4 hours here. I think summer people are more out and about anyways, and they're not in their house or anything. Unless it's really, really hot, then people are in their house because they want the AC. But yeah, I don't think I would stay at this particular cabin again. We've gone to a few different ones, so now we've kind of figured out what we like, and just those ones weren't available. We were booking kind of late, so we'll see. Although I think some of them they might use a little bit more in the summer, so the owners are probably using them themselves more in the summer. Because two of them that we did, actually three of them, three of the cabins that we've been to either in late fall or in the winter, and they're in lake communities, so it would probably make more sense that they are using them during the summer months, especially on the weekends when they have private beaches and all that fun stuff, or access to the lake and whatnot. So summer, we're going to need to find somewhere to go in the summer. How is the Gloria Cubana? Good. Unfortunately, I think they might have discontinued that particular series R. It was the Esteli. You can still get them at a few places, still have some in stock, but I believe they might have been discontinued. But it was a really good cigar. I liked it a lot. I wouldn't want to go any bigger in size because it could be a nicotine powerhouse. And what are you chewing on? What are you chewing on? Cully, what are you chewing on? Are you chewing on wood? Looks like you're chewing on wood. Hopefully that's wood. What are you chewing on? Okay, I'm gonna go see what Susie actually chewing on here. I'll have to bring you with me because I'm using my headphones as a microphone. What are you chewing on? What are you chewing on? It is bark. You can chew on that. Knock yourself out. She's a weirdo. Yeah, I have the pipe tobacco. It's really good. Didn't realize they discontinued until I watched that video. Yeah, Lane Limited teamed up with a bunch of cigar companies, though I think it was all under one. I think they're all under Altadis. Try to think. I don't know which one. I don't know. It might be General Cigar Company. I think that one might have been General Cigar Company. I think the La Gloria Cubana is General Cigar Company. But anyways, Lane Limited released at the same time the La Gloria Cubana, the Partega, the Macanudo. There's a couple other cigar brands that they released all at the same time. All of them have been discontinued. Gurkha, their branded are under Scandinavian Tobacco Group. So I'm guessing that means they are distributed by Altadis or owned by Altadis as their parent company, because I think that's who owns Scandinavian Tobacco Company as well. So I think that's, or Sutliff, one of the two. It's so confused. The landscape is so weird right now. But anyways, they released under a different blender and not Lane Limited, so I think that's why. Was it only the one kind of pipe tobacco, or do you know? Yeah, so each, the La Gloria Cubana, then the Macanudo, then the Partega, that's all they were named. They weren't named anything else. Whereas the Gurkha, They have, Gurkha Rare Breed, Gurkha Redemption, I think is one. I don't remember the third one, but they have three. So those are different blends under the Gurkha label, whereas the other ones were just the name of the cigar brand. Those ones were released under Lane Limited, and then the Gurkha is either Sutliff or Scandinavian Tobacco Group. I'm guessing the reason that happened is just how the ownership structure of all the parent, this is just a couple parent companies that own like everything. So I'm assuming Lane Limited is owned by the same parent as Macanudo and Partega and La Gloria Cubana. I'm guessing that's General Cigar Company, and then Altadis owns basically the rest of the landscape, the other half of the landscape that General Cigar doesn't. There's a few little smaller ones in here or there, but that's kind of the gist. It's basically those two companies that own all the cigar lines, and then some of them own some of the tobacco as well. The pipe tobacco lines. So yeah, it's a very strange landscape as far as the cigars go and the pipe tobacco go. There's not really many companies that own everything. I think she's okay. She's on a lead. It's tiny, so that's probably why you can't see it, and it's stuck to my chair. So she's not going anywhere. She's fine. How long are you gonna be on for? I don't know. I'm hoping that it'll either be as long as this cigar or the rain starts. So we're gonna say anywhere from could end any minute now to 45 to an hour. Now the clouds are looking a little ominous. I am on my phone, so if you've put any questions or anything that I haven't responded to, just drop them again, because they just pop up and then they fade off. And navigating through the comments is a pain in the butt on the phone. So if you have anything that I haven't responded to, let me know. All right, see you later, Mr. Beach. Hopefully those charge up quickly. That is why I always have wired headphones as well, because I always run out of charge on my cordless headphones. And then like if I buy the big over the ear ones, I always make sure that they can run off of the line as well. Somebody is turning around in our driveway. And they left. Massachusetts plates. I'm guessing they like got lost. There's only like one more house. Actually, no. There's three more houses before it goes right into the state forest. Then there's no more houses. So, if I'm guessing they were lost. There's also a road to turn on. Oh, and there they go. I see them turn. They just turned down the road that they missed. They probably stayed on this one because this one's paved and that one's dirt right where it touches this road, right at the intersection. It starts with dirt, so they probably figured they weren't going onto a dirt road for wherever they're trying to go, because that's all National Forest property. All right, I think I'm back. Hopefully I'm back. That was weird. It just like suddenly dropped. And don't drop again. Okay, there we go. That was, yeah. Like suddenly it just dropped to like the menu of YouTube, even though I didn't do anything. That's what I get for using a phone, I guess. How you doing? You all right? She's a weirdo. So who else do I have in here? What else is going on? Man, this. Oh, oh! I just dropped you. I try to switch this here. Using I don't exactly have a tripod with me, so I'm using best I can on a water bottle. All right. What else is going on out there? If anything. This road gets so much traffic. I guess I should drive down to see what else is down that way. Because, like I said, it just goes into National Forest property a couple doors down. So I'm curious where everybody is going. But that is one thing I don't like about this place as well. It's really close to the road. The actual building is close to the road, which gets kind of annoying. I'd like to be a little farther off the road, especially if it's this busy. If it wasn't busy, then I'd be fine. But this seems to be used as a through road to somewhere. I'm not sure what's on the other end of it. That's the thing. How about you guys? Where do you like to vacation? If you like to, we like to take really chill vacations. We just want to get out of our house and go somewhere else, even if we don't do anything. Even if we only do what we'd be doing at home anyways, sitting and watching cartoons and taking naps. Just doing it not in your own house. When you're 3 hours away from your own house, just makes all the difference. It just lets you reset and not care about anything. You don't have to worry about stuff at the house. We have a friend taking care of our other dogs and our cat. She's just staying at our house. She's taking care of the dogs and the cat and the fish tank. So we don't have to worry about that crap. And she's got like a 3-year-old with her too. So they can just crash at our house and enjoy our place while we're away. And it's basically like a mini vacation for her too, only she just gets to play with our dogs instead of which she doesn't mind. She sent us a picture last night where it was her dog, our 2 dogs, and our cat were all in bed with her, getting along and all sleeping, and she was very happy with that. So it works. And we babysit her dog, or dog sit, I guess. We dog sit her dog all the time. So it's like having partial custody of a dog. She's got a huge husky who is really funny, but really, really lazy and probably needs to lose a few pounds. Heard some very, very loud chipmunks or squirrels. I'm pretty sure they're squirrels, yes, this morning. Freaked the dog out. She's just scared of everything. I don't know why. It takes her like a really long time to just like warm up to stuff. Um, she's just over 6 months old now. So she's still kind of exploring the world. But she like freaked out when a plane flew overhead once. Where I live, there's a small airport, so it's just small planes, just prop engine planes. And like one was flying over. I mean, they're probably, I don't know, 3,000 feet, but you can still hear them. And she just was like freaking out when I was just walking her on the road, back where we live, back at home. So that was kind of funny. Yeah, she's just weird. She's just a weird dog. Hi, sweetie. How you doing? Hi. Oh. I don't know what else to talk about. What do you guys have going on? Somebody spur something. I need a question here. For whoever's watching. Let's see what else is going on. I don't have a computer, so I can't look at anything to spur anything. I just have my phone, and obviously I'm using that for streaming right now. What to talk about? So we're out here until Tuesday. We're leaving on Tuesday, so we got another day and a half here. And then I'll be back home and back at the usual stuff. Games to play. I knew you have a big list. Yeah, I do have a huge list. But again, yeah, I'm sitting here I can't look at my library because I don't have my computer with me. I know I have 20XX, and then I have VVVVV, and then I also have VVVVVV. So it's 5Vs and 6Vs, which is a sequel to the 5Vs. I have that to play. I have a whole bunch of stuff. I have Sonic that, yes, Lycans has sent me, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I got a lot of stuff to work on. That was a very loud burp. You probably couldn't hear it because the microphone's over here, but yeah, she just let out a wicked burp. Doom Eternal. I don't own Doom Eternal. I'm sure I might get around to playing it sometime. I don't know how soon. Yeah. Gotta start my job hunt. So that's something I gotta do this week once I get home. Start putting the resume together. Luckily, I get 3 months of placement services provided by my company. So, but my rep, I talked to her on Thursday, and she's going to be out this coming week. So it works out because I'm not going to be home until Tuesday. I'm not really want to do much on Wednesday, anyways. And then I just need to throw my resume together and whatnot. So I'll start working on that. Not this week, but the week after. Start my job search. I don't really want to, but I need the money. Got pricing on shirts. Kind of ridiculous pricing. I may just go with Teespring for on-demand printing, because it monetarily it doesn't make sense to go through a local shop to get screen printing, and they do DTG, so they print direct to garment printing. So they're going to be at least decent quality. But I need to get to check in because the renders look super pixelated, so I gotta check with them to make sure that they're correct, even though the sample looks bad. So I need to purchase a sample to see how it actually prints out. I might even just start printing the shirts myself. So that could be a project for the next couple weeks, is putting together some screen printing stuff and just print the shirts myself. That way I can print them on demand in the sizes that I need instead of carrying a crap ton of overhead. I mean, it'll probably still work out roughly to the same price per garment, but I can custom make them whenever I need to. I don't have to carry a ton of overhead for them. But the shirts would look cool. They should look really good. The graphics look really good, so the shirts should look good too. And that way we can change them up as often as we want. We don't have to worry about setup fees and all that fun stuff. So I might teach myself how to screen print so I can get some shirts made. Are you chewing on a rock? What are you doing? Please don't dig a hole in somebody else's yard. She is a weirdo. Hey. Okay. There you go. What's up, Leroy? Yeah, she's 6 months old, so, and we're not at home, so she is really confused about what's happening. She's not a big fan of the place where we are. She doesn't like the cabin that we're in. She just runs to this one little built-in bed in like the sitting room area, addition type thing that they have on this place. She just lays down there and does not move. She will not leave that. I had to pick her up and carry her to bed last night when I went to sleep. Because I didn't want to just leave her there, because if she got up in the middle of the night, I wouldn't feel her move and be able to take her out if she needed to go outside. But nope, she hasn't yet. So we'll see. What are you doing, puppy? Hey, come on. Come sit over here. Come here. Come on. No? Oh, crazy girl. What else is going on? I mean, that's it. I mean, it's not like I work anymore. So basically just working on this channel. I got a whole bunch of stuff that will be coming up on this channel. Like a bunch of ideas. I just need to film them. Working on That's Wrestling. That's been kind of slow going over there. And not sure what else I should be working on. Working on my gaming channel, but I haven't done much with that. Slow going there too. Good times, good times. Hopefully I can find another work from home gig, because that would be great. That way I don't have to worry about location. Time moves too quick these days. Yes, it does. Sometimes you just need to slow down. That's why I like coming out here. Just slow down. I don't have to do anything. I got no commitments for the next 3 days. It always happens to, like every time we book something, we usually book maybe like 3 nights. sometimes 4. What do we do? Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. So yeah, we only booked 3 nights. And my wife every time is like, "Can we make it a week? Can we make it a week?" And then by the time we get here, by the time day 3 rolls around, we're both ready to go home. So every time I'm like, "No," because by the time day 3 rolls around, we're gonna want to go home. And that happens every time. We booked last summer. We went with my family. We rented a big place on the ocean. So there were a lot of us, my sister and her husband, and my step niece, and then my mom, and then myself and my wife. We booked, like I said, we booked a big place. We booked it for a week, and by the time day 3 rolls around, my wife wants to go home. So every time it's like, you always want to go home after 3 days. You never make it past 3 days. So even though she begged me to book longer for this trip, same thing happened. We didn't even make it 3 days. After leaving Mount Washington today, she's like, "I am going to do nothing tomorrow. We are just going to stay in the cabin the whole time and do nothing." So by the time Tuesday rolls around, she's going to want to go home, and that's fine with me because I'm not much of a I'm not much of a traveler anyways, unless I'm doing something specific. And when we come out here, especially if I'm with my wife, we're not going to do much because we like to do completely different things. So we tend to take trips apart from each other, just because I'm going to want to go hiking or rock climbing or something, and she doesn't do that stuff. And then she wants to go to the theater and the city, like New York City or something. And it's like, oh, I don't want to do that. So it works out. I go with my friends to do stuff. She goes with her friends to do stuff. And then we do these little quiet time getaways once in a while. You know, it's relatively cheap if you're renting on like Vrbo, or this one's an Airbnb, just for a couple days. It's not a big deal. And we live close enough. We don't have to go far to get to a decent place. This is only 3 hours from home to get here, so not a big deal. And then if she goes with her friends to New York City, it's only like a 4-hour drive from our house to New York City. So it's not bad. Or if she goes into Boston, Boston's only like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something from our house. So if she wants to go do that, that's fine. So we don't live like super far from places we can enjoy either together or by ourselves. The ocean is only 2 hours from our house as well. So, but most of the places on the ocean, especially during season, are week minimums. They just book the full weeks, so it's hard to find a place that will just let you stay for 3 days. So that's a little more difficult, but that's fine because she's not a big ocean person, anyways. My family is, but this year with my job, we weren't sure what we were going to do. What's up, Briar Club? Good to catch you. Looks like, come back. Come back. Looks like a nice day there today. Actually, it's super overcast, and it might start raining soon. So it's comfortable outside. That's a plus. I think the temperature's dropped. We're probably looking at about 75 to 77 right now, which is a lot nicer than it was yesterday. Yesterday was like 85 and like 92% humidity or something. So today is a lot better. Leroy says, "I love the ocean. Reminds me how small we are." Yeah, I like going to the beach. Again, I just like chilling. I don't really need to go swimming or anything. That's why it was fun. So yeah, that's like last year it was fun for me, not so much for my wife. What's up, Evan? New to pipe smoking, enjoying a blend from my brick and mortar called Campfire and Coffee. Interesting. I'm wondering what they're rebranding as Campfire and Coffee. What you smoking? Right now, I am smoking a Macanudo Cafe. Comfort, isn't it? Jeez, these fade too fast. Are there settings for this that it can just show all the time? Um, all message are visible. But yes, comfort is definitely the one of the key components to enjoying a cigar and or a pipe. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a second phone, but I don't stream off my phone very often, so it's fine. But yeah. Anyways, the ocean's fun. I like going. My wife, not so much. She is very, very, very pale, so she burns very easily. She doesn't like the heat. I don't like the heat that much either, but I'll go sit under like a pop up on the beach and read or whatever, or smoke a cigar. That's always fun. Just smoking a cigar on the beach. My sister and brother-in-law and my mom and my grandmother all like the beach a lot though, so they just hang out on the beach all the time. But the coast here is actually pretty nice. I don't know how it's like this year because of COVID and all that fun stuff. But usually it's pretty nice. There's a long boardwalk with all types of shops and arcades and restaurants and all types of stuff like that. Unfortunately, it used to be a little nicer because there weren't any. There are now public restrooms and stuff. So now there's just a crap ton of people making day trips to the beach, whereas it used to be you mostly had to have rented somewhere because you wouldn't have access to any facilities if you went to the beach. So it used to be a lot nicer and less crowded until they added the public bathrooms and all that stuff up and down the boardwalk. So that's a little bit of a bummer. So we actually moved slightly farther away from where the boardwalk is on our last trip, and where we stayed, there was no public parking near the beach. So it was pretty much only people who in the community who are legally allowed to be there. You had to have a parking pass to even park on the side of the street, or you had to have since we rented a place, we had the off street parking. So that was nice because that beach wasn't nearly as crowded, and it was added, I don't know, maybe a half mile to the walk to get to the boardwalk, so not a huge deal. And if we were just going to go down there in the evening, most people start clearing out when it starts to get dark. So we could always just hop in the car, and then there'd be plenty of parking. Parking is ridiculously expensive though, but it's like $1 for 15 minutes or something. But surprisingly, New Hampshire has a very nice coastline with a lot of beach. Edisto, South Carolina, your favorite beach? I've only been to the Carolinas, well, besides passing through. I've driven through the Carolinas, but I've only like stayed in the Carolinas once for my sister's wedding. She lived just outside of Charleston. So that was about it. So we went to Charleston a couple times while we were staying down there. Didn't really go to the beach though, because it was, I can't remember what time of year that was. I don't think it was that hot while we were there anyways, but I think it was spring. So it was a bit cool, which is fine. It is kind of comfy. Nice and quiet. Other than the road. For those who haven't already been in the video, I'm surrounded by national forest property. So this tree line right here is national forest. Behind the to my left is all national forest. I got a road to my right here, and then there's only a couple more houses on this side of the road, and then it goes right into national forest property. It's national forest property on the other side of the road. So basically there's only like 4 private lots here, and then it's all surrounded by national forest. So these houses, they don't have to worry about anybody building across the street from them or next to them or behind them. Nothing's going to be developed behind them. What are you doing? Are you getting in trouble? Chloe. Chloe. Are you going to come closer? Hi. She's going to float. She does not like the cabin. Like, she does not walk towards the cabin at all. It's really a pain in the butt, so I have to pick her up and carry her like a baby into the house. I'm guessing the road used to go right where I'm sitting, basically. You can kind of tell right there is actually like a old road. So I'm guessing the road used to be right through here, over there. If you keep following that road a little bit, you get to another patch of private property. It's not very far. It's maybe a quarter mile, if that. So I'm guessing the road used to come right through here when it was dirt. Long time ago. Especially because there's a river right here, so they had to build a bridge over it. Get your wife to carry her. She's getting heavy. My wife can't. My wife is having issues picking her up at this point because she's getting heavy. I think she's, I don't know, she's like 43 pounds now. Somebody said something. Hold on. Just got a new golden retriever. Mine's 4 months old. Chews everything. Yep, she's 6 months old. She chews everything. She just chewed a pair of my wife's glasses the night before we came up here. Look, my wife always buys like 5 pairs of glasses at a time from Zenny or US Optical or whatever. So not a big deal because they cost like 20 bucks. But she ate a pair of my wife's glasses a couple days ago. Not sure where she found them, but like I said, since my wife has got to have 50 pairs of glasses, so I'm sure maybe it fell behind the bed and was on the floor and she crawled under the bed and found them under the bed. That happens. Whatever. My wife was mad because they don't make that pattern anymore. At least it wasn't a ton of money, and I think it was also an old prescription as well, so it might have been like her previous prescription, so she might not have been able to see that clearly in them anyways. She's really bad at clearing out the old prescription when she gets the new one. And then she wonders why she can't see the TV or something. These are always good burners. These are pretty much always on the top of my decent cigars for new smokers to try out. They last a long time. They're not super heavy on the nicotine. They're not like ridiculously harsh. So Macanudo cafes, they're easy to come by. You can find them. You can find Macanudos in like every cigar shop. So Leroy, your wife does that too. Buys a billion of them. Hard to go wrong with the time-tested classic. Nope, you cannot. So yeah, you can always find them everywhere. So that's kind of the look like it's burning good. Yeah, I mean, I'm at 50 minutes on this thing. I lit it up when I started the stream, so I'm probably maybe a couple minutes under that. So I'm at like 47 minutes, and this was just a Robusto size. This wasn't even a big one. So what's the Robusto size? Probably a 5 by Might be a 48, maybe a 50. Oh, that's probably a 50. I don't know. Yeah, that's a 50. I roll 48s. The molds I have are 48, so I'm always like, nope, that's just slightly bigger than the ones I roll. Yeah. Like I try to, yeah. So like when I'm rolling, I kind of, so one of the, I don't know if, I'm guessing this is a kind of a trick people use, but when I'm rolling, I can gauge by how much I can close my ring finger around it and where on the web of my thumb it touches. I have a weird little bump. So I have a fold. So if you see how this fold is right here, so if I can touch one side of the fold, it's a 50. If I can touch the other side of the fold when I close it up, it's a 48. So that's how I gauge. Okay, it's like, okay, I've rolled my bundle is good. I'm at a 48. So then I can put it in my press, and I know that I'm pretty close to what I need to be. I don't know if other rollers use some sort of reference on their own hand to know how, or they just kind of have some sort of muscle memory to figure out how thick of a ring gauge they've rolled. Hey, you getting a little? Are you chasing a cricket or an ant? I mean, if you eat an ant, that's perfectly fine. It's a little bit of protein for you because you haven't been eating since we got here. I wish there was a. Yeah, I wish there was an option on this that it would not fade out the chats and it would just stay. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, so far good burn, relatively straight. Some of the burn was super white ash, some of it not so much when I've started to slow down a little bit. But it's stacking fine. Good stack. Better than commercial measuring equipment. Well, yeah, I mean, you can get those cheap little plastic ones that you have the ring gauges cut out into. That's not a big deal. But yeah, if you're just rolling by hand, you kind of need some little reference on your hand that just works out. I definitely got to order some more tobacco for rolling. I am almost out of my own personal blend, but I'm waiting for the new humidor from New Air to come. Hopefully that'll be here at the end of August. They pushed out their campaign. I was supposed to get it like this week, but they are holding off on the release for another few weeks. So they got some new humidors that are coming their way, or coming out. If you've noticed that they're all discontinued. Hi. Decided to sit underneath me. Got it. Okay. So they have some new humidors coming, and they're going to send me the 125. I don't know what the SKU is going to be called, but like my 400 count's good. I had to make a small modification to it, just because if it gets if it's always hot, then it really sucks the humidity out really fast, and then it just goes out to. It has a evaporation tray outside of the unit to deal with condensation, but really I just directed the condensation into a tray inside the humidor so it can re-evaporate back into the humidor to maintain. So it does need any of the cooling temperature controlled units you have to deal with. Have you attempted making your own humidor at this point too? Love the ashtray designs you've made. I have not, because I am not that skilled of a woodworker. I mean, I may try at some point to. I need some more equipment to do really nice boxes, and humidors have to be super tightly fitted. So I don't have the equipment needed to get as good of a fit as possible without spending so much time like just doing hand tool work. So like I really need like a jointer and a planer so I can get, perfectly flat and flush pieces and squared pieces. So that isn't really high on my list at the moment. And really, I think now the temperature controlled humidors are the way to go. Like those, some of them can be a bit more expensive, but like if you're looking at the new air that I have, I think if you used my coupon code that they gave me, which was a 20% off code, I think it came down to what, like 400 and I don't know, $30, something like that, and it can hold 400 cigars without much of an issue. So if you have enough cigars that you need room for 400 count, I mean, you're already spending, let's just average, even on the low end of $4 per cigar. I mean, that's still, you're spending $1,600. That's what's another 400 to protect your investment. Or if you're storing, even more expensive cigars, say $10 per, I mean, that's like $4 grand worth of inventory that you can store in one of those. So I think the temperature controlled units are kind of the way to go at this point. Traditional storage, not as much. Especially, it depends where you live too. Where I live, the temperature swings huge. We can get up to 100 degrees. We can get to -40. So throughout the year, we're either heating the house or cooling the house. It's almost never whatever the actual environment temperature is, because we only have like a few days of comfortable. It's either too hot or too cold. So that unit is nice because it has the heater. Not that I really had to use the heat much because I already kept the house at about the temperature that I keep my cigars at anyways. But in the summer, that office can get up to 95 degrees if I didn't put the AC in. But if I put the AC in, then it keeps it around 70. And then the temperature control unit helps to bring it down a couple more degrees. I usually run it about 66, 67. And around 60, 80. It just helps prevent any mold. It definitely keeps any beetles from hatching because they don't hatch until 80 degrees. But I think the temperature controlled units are the way to go, especially for those who are not using AC or live somewhere where it's only hot for a few, maybe a month and you can survive and you don't have AC. I mean, a lot of people up here don't. Where I live, a lot of people don't have air conditioner. So that would be detrimental to your cigars if your house is 80, 85 degrees for extended amount of time. Like like my mother-in-law, she never uses the air conditioner. So I go to her house and it's like 85 degrees in the house. So your cigars it's going to be mold town for your cigars pretty quickly in that type of temperature. So I guess it really depends on how you keep your house. If you use a traditional humidor or if you spring for one of the temperature controlled units. There's so much competition now with the temperature controlled units that they've come down in price quite a lot. So they're not like super out of reach for if you're smoking quality cigars anyways. They're not really out of reach. You can get the 100 or 200 counts for $200 or something. So, and that's you're gonna for a nice humidor, you're gonna spend that anyways. So, just depends on what people want and what best fits their lifestyle. I am curious on what the other end of this road is, or if it's just a nice road to drive on. It could be like a hidden treasure road to drive on. Because people are always going up and down this road. All right, I'm tunneling here because I've been talking to you guys too much. So I just need to touch up this wrapper here. Looks like rain, not sure if it's gonna come. For those of you who live in New England, you're pretty much used to this type of uncertainty, I guess. Yeah, uncertainty. In the flatter, lower lands, so if you head to the coast area where it starts to get flat, the weather seems to be a little more consistent, or at least the predictability of the weather is more consistent. Once you start getting farther north, especially if you're in Vermont, which is completely mountainous, there's like really no flatlands there. Then you start going up into whenever you're like 100 miles in from the coast, then it starts to get crazy. Fingers crossed that it holds off. Yeah, should hold off. I mean, I'm already an hour in, so I'm okay if this thing kicks it soon. I mean, I'm probably only gonna smoke about an inch more, anyways. So if the rain comes, the rain comes. That's all right. How you doing, sweetie? She's sitting under me, so she's sitting under my chair now. She just takes forever to get used to stuff. But she's super clingy to me and my wife. My wife brings her to. Oh, you got dirt all in your nose. She's super clingy to my wife. What's up, Todd? My wife brings her to work with her, and she just like sleeps under her desk all day because she doesn't like, and she has to get dragged outside to go outside, or sometimes dragged inside to go inside. Even though she's been going there all month, and she's still a crazy girl about going to different places. It's weird. Some places she's really fine with. Like if we go to like the pet store or something, she's fine walking around the pet store. You bring her to this place where it's just me and my wife, and she doesn't want to go inside. Bring her to work with my wife, she's hit or miss. But she loves playing out. It's weird. She is a weirdo. Like, I brought her to my grandfather's house, and she was fine. She was fine running around. No big deal. Saying hi to everybody. Of course, she was a lot younger, so like not much. She was probably only 3.5, 4 months at that time. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do with you, crazy girl. Let's see, what are we at? We're at 5 o'clock now, and I need to charge my Fitbit because it's almost dead. So yeah, not bad. These are always good value. They're not super expensive, but they're good. They burn slow, and they're just all around decent, good cigars. Always recommended if somebody wants to try out at least a decent cigar and doesn't want to spend a ton of money. She's still a baby. Sounds like she loves to travel. She loves the car. Todd wrote something. Hold on, let me try to get back here. It just fades out on my thing. The review on the bacon old fashioned, did you like it? It was okay. If you saw the review, it wasn't horrible. Of course, I did have it was 5 months, 4 years age by the time I opened it, so might have been a little different to other people. I also fluffed it first, which is a trick I use for aromatics that's been for a long time. So if I have an aromatic that's been sitting, really any aromatic, if I crack a tin on an aromatic, I will take the entire thing out onto like a piece of paper, and I'll basically like fluff the whole thing so it all gets exposed to air, so it gases off a lot of those kind of volatile gases that might build up or unwanted flavors. So I did that, and then put it back in the jar before smoking it. That's a trick that you might want to try on some aromatics sometimes. Like if it smells weird in the tin, just dump it out onto a piece of paper, give it a good exposure to fresh air for a couple minutes, and then put it back in, or put it into a jar at that point. It helps remove some of those really strange volatile chemicals that may build up inside the tin and might make your smoke a little better. But all in all, I mean, the bacon old fashioned was fine. I mean, it's an aromatic. I don't really smoke aromatics besides reviewing them for the most part. So, I mean, it'll probably get smoked over time, just like if I'm really bored and can't figure out what to do. And I was like, or if I think I might only get a few minutes with a pipe and I might have to do something, it's like, well, I don't want to waste a bowl of Penzance, so let's throw in some bacon old fashioned. That's a contrast right there from one end of the spectrum to the other. I don't want to waste some Penzance, so let's go find the worst thing I have in my collection. The 4 years of aging might have helped too. Yeah. I mean, the Darkfire Kentucky comes through, and then the whiskey flavor still lingers in the back. But no, it wasn't awful. But there are a bazillion tobaccos better than it. That's all. Rain hasn't started yet. It's looking like it might. I'm sure it looks brighter on the phone than it is in reality here. We're gonna go inside soon. I'd love to just get a small place up here just so we can come up here whenever we want. They're always super expensive around here. They used to be a lot cheaper. Like 20 years ago, there were places that currently you'd spend 200 grand on that 20 years ago you'd spend 60. So it's been a massive increase in real estate values up in this area. Like the one of the developments that we stayed in a couple times, we've actually stayed in two different places. I'm pretty sure it was the 99 Kansas show, but I got started. Come on. Get into bulk for a while. I keep fluffing, but I'll keep fluffing advice in mind. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't come in bulk, especially these days. Bulk probably was a lot more prevalent. I wasn't smoking back in 2000 anyway, so I can tell you. But I feel like bulk was more available back then. A lot of stuff just doesn't come in bulk. Everything's tinned these days. All the high quality stuff is tinned. Almost like there's not really super high quality bulks out there, especially now that McClellan's gone. McClellan was probably the highest quality of bulk that you could get. So McClellan's gone. G&H they make good stuff, but they're almost sold out all the time. I mean, Cornell and Deal is, I mean, all their stuff you can pretty much get in bulk. There's not much you can't get in bulk from them. Yeah, 5110 was amazing. That was so good. That was actually one of the first tobaccos I reviewed on this channel. I think it was like number 2 or 3, maybe 4. I mean, Dunhill released their bulks for a while there. Mostly it was just EMP, Nightcap, and what are the other one? What, 925? Right? Was it 925? Something like that. I can't remember the names of everything. But yeah, bulk isn't nearly as popular. 965. Yeah. Mike is smoking a Diesel Whiskey Row. How are those? Are they flavored with whiskey, or are they just aged I think they're just aged in the barrels, right? So they probably don't have a ton of whiskey flavor to them. Let me know, because was it Todd? Who was looking? Was it Todd? Was Todd looking for whiskey flavored cigars? Because they stopped making whatever the rum, the cigars that he liked. I can't remember. But those are just aged in whiskey barrels, I believe. Yeah. So for the most part, everything is tinned these days. There's not much that is exclusively bulk. Still taste the sweetness. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Todd's looking for some whiskey flavored stuff, because they don't make the ones that he smoked anymore. They went out of business. They went out of production in like 2012. Yeah, there's not much that's exclusively bulk these days. I mean, F&K Lancer Slices, that's like one of the few that is exclusively bulk, or at least in the US it's exclusively bulk. I've never seen it in tins. You know, some of the Sutliff stuff, but basically all the Cornell and Deal stuff you can also get tinned. And yeah, a good hunk of the G&H stuff is not exclusive bulk. The ropes are, but that's about it. And then Samuel Gawith, it's been hard getting that stuff into the country these days. I do not know what's up with them. I haven't, last I heard stuff was stuck in customs, but that was like going on 6 months now. Macanudo makes a rum-infused cigar. So something for Todd to possibly check out. Yeah, there aren't too many, anything that's like flavored for cigar wise there's not many high quality ones out there these days. It's all like machine made stuff. Obviously you have the Drew Estate stuff that, you know, like those are like the high quality flavored stuff, but the rest, it's not that great. Like the underlying, hey, stop digging. The underlying tobacco is not like amazing. Whereas the Drew Estate stuff is, the Javas were, the tobacco blends were done by Rocky Patel. So when the Javas came out, you know, it had both of their names on it, I believe, when the Javas originally came out. But Rocky Patel did the tobacco blending of that, and then Drew Estate did the flavoring. So those are actually some of the better, you know, really good cigars that are flavored, and the underlying tobacco is really good. That's always a bummer when stuff is flavored and they use crappy tobacco. It's like, well, why don't you use really good tobacco and flavor it? Then you have good tobacco to... It's like, don't cheap out on the tobacco because you're flavoring it. Don't flavor it to hide the weakness of the tobacco. That's just like Bummer. That's why I always like head towards Latakia based blends are like the heavies that I go towards. But when you look at stuff like F and K Lancer slices, the underlying tobacco outside of the Latakia is exceptional. So even if you age it for 20 years and the potency of the Latakia drops, it's still going to be a solid smoke anyways. Same with Penzance. Even if the Latakia starts, you know, dipping out on the Penzance, the underlying tobaccos are just so good that it doesn't really matter. What was something I recently had that I had aged for a really long time? I think I smoked it on stream too. I cannot remember. It might have been some old Quiet Nights. Same thing. You want to look for the stuff that even the stuff that is going to age out over time, especially like the Latakias. You want to find that the underlying tobacco is still really, really good, even if the smokiness drops off. You want to look for the base to be solid too, and that's what I think like Lancer Slices shines there. The Virginias in the Lancer Slices, excellent. Like if they made like a Lancer Slices minus the Latakia, it'd probably still be excellent. So don't cheap out on the tobacco even if you're flavoring it. That's where I'm going. Blend it as if you're not flavoring it and then flavor it afterwards. Well, I'm surprised. Rain's still holding off. Forecast said, what the hell was that? Is that a bird? Oh, there it goes. There's two huge crows just flew over. I don't know if you caught the squawk on the mic or not. Just two really big crows flew over. Usually we don't get crows that big around here. We get a lot of blackbirds, like smaller crows, I guess. I don't know. Is blackbirds and crows the same thing? I should look that up. Sasquatch. But yes, we usually don't get crows that big, and if blackbirds and crows are not the same thing, we get a lot more blackbirds than crows. Usually see much smaller birds than that. It is definitely short of a murder, though. I wouldn't call that a murder of crows. I don't think 2 counts as a murder. Now I'm going to have to fill in all these holes that you've dug out here. You need to not... Luckily, it's not like this is beautiful lawn or anything, so not a huge deal. But, you know, don't dig holes in other people's yards. Dogs. I am not hungry. My wife said wake her up when I'm hungry. I'm not hungry. Maybe attempted assault of crows. It could be an attempted murder. Oh, no. Okay. Go on me. That was quite a squawk. Okay, you did hear the squawk then. Yeah, it was an attempted murder of crows. What's up, Mike? The Macanudo Cafe. I don't know if it'll actually focus in on the rapper, the band. Macanudo Cafe, the Robusto size. I think they were just originally just called Macanudo. I don't know when the cafe got added to the name. Looks like they're Connecticut. I noticed they got bigger the older I got. Yeah, this phone is making it look way brighter outside than it really is. Oh, oh, oh. Are you okay? My dog just nosed the ash end of my cigar. I don't think she got the ember, though. I think she's all right. But now she has ash on her nose. Great. Mommy's going to think that I'm predatory eating a lot more trash this year. He's... Oh. Great. Now your mommy's going to think that I'm burning you with my cigar on your nose. I'm not trying to abuse my dog here. On vacation too, just sat down with some haunted bookshop. Nice. Raindrops just started. Yeah, it was raining earlier for me on our drive home from Mount Washington. Yeah, you mean the crows. Oh my God! Stop digging. Yeah, it was okay. So we went to the top of Mount Washington. It was not raining, which is nice. Once we got down, it actually started raining, and then once we got here, which we're only about, as the crow flies, probably only maybe 15, 20 miles from the summit of Mount Washington. It rained a little bit here. Stuff was kind of wet, but now it's getting darker again, so I don't know. The rain might be making an appearance soon. Oh, now you are all dirty. Oh, I'm going to have to brush you off before we get in the house, because now you're just covered in dirt. And the shower here is a tiny little stand-up shower, so we cannot bathe you here. We won't be able to bathe you till we get home, if you're all dirty. Oh, and you threw dirt all over my nice shoes. Jeez. I haven't put that many miles on these shoes yet. They don't need to be covered in dirt. I've only put like 50 miles on these shoes. I got my nice Sportiva. I think this is the Bushido 2s. I just checked my foot and it's like completely covered in dirt. Usually I wear gaiters. I would just wear dirt gaiters, dust gaiters, to keep the crows could be eating a lot more trash this year, and that's why they're getting bigger. Could be. It wasn't that huge. Do crows go after small rodents? I don't even know what crows freaking eat other than corn. They destroy people's corn. What was I gonna say? Oh, with my shoes. Dogs are like little children. Yeah, no kidding. What's wrong with dirt? Well, so usually when I'm hiking with these shoes, one, they're very airy. So dust and dirt can get into them, and obviously then that's just going to wear on your skin. Usually I wear just low gaiters to keep the dirt out of my shoes, which I am not wearing right now. So she just got dirt into my shoes, which then just wears on your skin when you're hiking, like 15 miles in one shot or something. So usually I just wear dust gaiters. I actually use Dirty Girl gaiters. They're really good. They make a lot of funky colors. I just got the gray ones, but they make a lot of funky colors. And Dirty Girl just makes the best just dust and dirt gaiters. They just make them out of Lycra, I think. It keeps the dirt and sticks out of your shoes, especially if you hike in shorts on dirt, because the lugs of your shoe pick up the dirt and then just deposit it in your other shoe. So I like using the Dirty Girl gaiters for that. It keeps the dirt out of my shoes, so I don't want dirt in my shoes, so please stop throwing dirt in my shoes. But yeah, that's something that always bugged the crap out of me until I discovered the Dirty Girl gaiters. Like I always run on old railroad bed, and I always have to, like, if I was doing like a 5 mile run, I'd have to stop at least once, sometimes twice, to dump the pebbles and dirt out of my shoe. And then I got the Dirty Girl gaiters, and then it's like, oh, this is wonderful. I can run 5 miles and not have any problems with stuff getting into my shoes. I can hike 15 miles in one shot and nothing gets into my shoes. So that is why I don't like dirt on my shoes, because I don't like dirt in my shoes. Worth the I don't know what they are, $20 or something for a super lightweight gaiter. And I'm getting low battery notifications. I'm down to 9%, so it's probably gonna kick the bucket soon, am I? So if I disappear, that is what's happened. Though I'm probably gonna wrap it up here in a minute anyways, because this cigar is almost done. I've been on for almost an hour and a half here. Unless somebody has something else to talk about. My wife said, wake her up when I'm hungry, but I'm not hungry, even though it's 5:20, and I have not eaten since like 10. That's a chipmunk. You staring at the chipmunk? She doesn't go after small game. She doesn't run after anything. She'll run after a ball, but she doesn't run after live animals, so that's a plus. She did almost get hit by a car yesterday, so that was a little scary, because she was scared of the front door of this place. So I opened the car door, and the car is, I don't know, 10 feet from the door. I opened the car door. She jumped out. As soon as I opened the door to the cabin, she ran right into the middle of the road and almost got hit by a car. That was great. Thanks a lot. So now I don't trust her being off leash, because usually she just sticks right by me. And she seems to be getting a little bolder in her travels these days. So as much as I'd like to play fetch with you, and as much as she would like to play fetch, this is not fenced in. So that would be bad, because you cannot go running willy-nilly wherever you want. Because I don't want a flattened golden retriever. So we're not going to be able to play much fetch until we get home inside of our fenced yard. She picked up her ball and put it in my hand. She does that now if she wants to go play fetch. And sorry, can't play fetch with you. And I need to wash off your face because you have mud all over your snout. Oh, I just felt a sprinkle. I don't see it. I just felt a little drop on my leg and on my hand. Oh, I just felt a couple more. The rain might be coming. Yeah, this is our first golden retriever. We also have a miniature dachshund and a very tiny chihuahua, and they are both 14 years old. They both turned 14 this past winter, so they're almost 15 now. So yeah, we got her. She's 6 months old now. We got her because it's like, okay, we know our dogs are old. So she's not like a replacement, but she's a bigger dog. We got the small dogs when we lived in Ohio and we were living in an apartment. So we just wanted some small dogs because it wasn't going to be an issue getting them outside playing fetch and all that fun stuff. But then we moved here and the winters are much colder here. They both hate the winter. So we needed to get a dog that's a little more suited to the climate we live in now. Obviously I cannot take a miniature dachshund on a hike more than a mile. So that wouldn't work out very well. The Chihuahua actually can go pretty far. We've taken him on a short hike, like 3 miles up they call it a mountain, but it's really just a big hill. There's maybe like 500 feet of elevation gain where we were. He can go all day. He's fine. He's still pretty spry for being a 14-year-old Chihuahua. Dachshund, not so much. She can't go that far anymore. She never really could anyways. So I wanted a dog that I could go hiking with. And while our smaller dogs are still around, we can get her trained and get her, do a little physical preparation here so she can do some longer stretches and get her into some hiking shape so she can go for long hikes with me, because I like to go for 10 to 15 mile hikes and she needs to work her way up to that. Obviously I took her on the 3 miles a couple days ago. She did really well. Even once we got home, she still had a boatload of energy. She still wanted to go play fetch out back. So this dog is full of energy right now, and it's like impossible to wear her out. So I'm just watching the squirrel go in and out of these people's shed that they have here. It's all locked up, but there's a hole that the squirrel has found that he keeps going into the shed and then coming back out and grabbing stuff and then going back into the shed. I think he's creating a stockpile of pine nuts, or what, pine seeds. I guess, do pine nuts only come from a certain type of pine, or do all pine cones produce some sort of pine nut, even if we don't eat them? I'm guessing there's obviously a seed in the pine cones. All right. So anyways, I am about to hit 5% battery, and that's when YouTube is going to die. So I'm going to end it here. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me. For those who are tuning in right here at the end, I'm smoking a Macanudo Cafe. This is the Robusto size, which has lasted an hour and a half with no relights. I did have to charge up because it was tunneling a little bit, but that's because I wasn't smoking it as much because I was talking to you guys. So I'm going to end that here too as well. So thanks everybody for tuning into my live stream while I am on vacation up in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Pretty nice. And it looks like now the clouds might be clearing up again. Who the heck knows? All right, I am going to call it. I'm going to bring this girl inside. Hopefully she will eat and drink some water because she hasn't done that in 24 hours now. And yeah, if my wife decides to take a long nap tomorrow, maybe I'll be on, though it might be in the middle of your guys' workday. So there it is. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.